This is the story of the prophet Ezekiel's visions. But what is a prophet? Prophets are people who come so close to God, and God comes so close to them, that they know what God wants. Ezekiel was a prophet to the people in exile in Babylon. The exiles would gather by the river to worship God. They didn't know if God would find them in that strange land, so they often faced towards Jerusalem and the temple, where they knew God was. One day, while gathered at the river with the other exiles, Ezekiel had a vision. He saw a storm coming. In the clouds were 4 living creatures. They looked like men, but had wings. Each one had 4 different faces, all of different animals. When they moved their wings, it sounded like thunder. Each creature had a wheel within a wheel. The wheels seemed almost alive. When Ezekiel looked up, he saw God sitting on a throne. Being carried by these 4 creatures, Ezekiel was afraid and fell to the ground. God spoke to Ezekiel, saying, "Son of man, stand upon your feet, and I will speak to you." And the Spirit of God entered Ezekiel and lifted him up onto his feet. And God said, "Son of man, eat what I give to you. Eat this scroll, so that my words may live in you." And Ezekiel ate the scroll and found it to be sweet like honey. This vision was only the first one he had. Before his time as a prophet was over, he had about 50 more visions. At first, most of the messages Ezekiel brought to the exiles were about the coming destruction of Jerusalem. Later, they were about hope for God's people. One time, God told Ezekiel to take a brick while it was still wet and draw a map of Jerusalem on it. Then he put the brick on the ground so everyone could see, and he put a toy army around it, ready to take over the city. Ezekiel did this to show that Jerusalem would be destroyed by the Babylonians. There were many more prophecies of the destruction of Jerusalem and its temple, and all of them came true. The city crumbled. There was little left. After Jerusalem was destroyed, God began to send messages of hope to his people through his prophet Ezekiel. One of them was about a shepherd. Ezekiel told the people that sometimes shepherds are not like the good shepherd. They are not even like the ordinary shepherd. They are bad. But God will come and rescue the people from the bad shepherds. God says, "I myself will be the shepherd of the people and will bring them into their own land." One day, another message of hope came to Ezekiel. He told the people that God will sprinkle clean water upon them when he brings them home to Jerusalem to cleanse them from all their wrongdoings. "A new heart I will give you," says God, "and a new spirit I will put with you. You will be my people, and I will be your God." Yet another time, God showed Ezekiel a pile of dry bones. God breathed new life into them, and they became alive, like God's people were going to come alive. God said, "I will put my spirit in them, and they will live." Ezekiel died in exile. He had witnessed the loss and destruction of his beloved city, but he also saw a beautiful vision of a people living in a restored city who were content. The city would be called, "The Lord is There." The city of Jerusalem, the dry bones, the clean water, the good shepherd, the ordinary shepherd, the wet brick, the scroll, Ezekiel's visions, and the chain of exile. And the underlay.